Hello! No sooner have I switched on the recording software that the dogs downstairs start barking. It's wonderful, really. We're off to do some dwarfing. And to start, my actual favourite part of Dragon Age Origins, actually. Cool. Right, I think it's time to go. I think it's time to get going. It's time to get going? Everyone ready? Let's do one more talk around the camp, shall we?
Yes? Something you need?
Talk about
Yes?
something.
What's on your mind?
You're traveling. Oh, yeah, I heard that in RLA, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
I read it in a history book.
And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
What's the difference?
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Okay. What sort of patron?
Nobles, mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
Yeah, I mean, I all my characters in Dragon Age find the game really annoying. You're a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
Why were you living in a cloistered sister in rural Ferelden?
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind?
You're a travelling minstrel. Do you have any tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Morgan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
She was once beautiful.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
The plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Cool. Let's get going. More stuff to do. Oh wait. I'm just wondering if we should not.
If there's anything I can do for you, please.
Right. We're going to need a lot of. Yeah, we got no potions at the moment. We're going to need a lot of them. So, I may be heading back to. Yeah, I may be heading back to Denerim. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So, going to Orzammar. Let's take Sten.
Yes.
Because you have to take Sten, because Sten is life. Take. Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Take them for now. Won't always be taking them, of course, but. But the reason why we need so many potions is because we're not actually going to have a mage to heal us. Because at some point we will be forced to take 4 warriors with us into the deep roads in this part of the game. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Maker, my brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
The Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
I don't know. I expect so, since there was no one there to stop them.
Well, it won't be much longer until those monsters get here. There doesn't seem to be anyone fighting them now.
Why are you here?
What do you mean?
Women are priests, or merchants, or artisans, or farmers. None of those have any place fighting.
I have no idea how to answer this.
It is not done. There is no more to it.
Do you mean your people have no female mages or warriors?
Of course not. Why would our women wish to be men?
What are you talking about? They don't wish to be men.
They shouldn't. That can only lead to frustration.
Stan! No, never mind. Let's drop this.
Just what I was saying about the Canary a few episodes ago, that is a prime example of BioWare neutering their own races. That is what the Canary think about people who cross-dress, about people who are transgender. They do not like them, they do not want them, they do not think they are natural. That is just how it is, I'm afraid. Not every single race in your setting has to be beautiful and accepting of everybody. The fact that people in Ferelden are is awesome. It sets them apart.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
You live on the surface.
Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone. But they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
How often do you restock in Orzammar?
Twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it.
Never mind.
Best of luck to you.
Can we not just trade?
Again, I'm flattered by your interest, Great Lord. Best of luck to you.
Okay, maybe not.
So, what is your uncle? Is he doing what you said?
How are we supposed to live like this? I have buyers waiting. Is it true Grey Wardens killed Ferelden's king?
I've told you what I can, I swear to you.
Let me see your wares.
Oh, certainly.
Ooh, Canary paint. Well, 7 gold though. Good God. Yeah, it doesn't actually have any armor, does it? Yeah, screw that.
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Why have your people retreated like this?
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endrunai Dukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago. The assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Grey Wardens need their traditional dwarven allies.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the royal seal. That means only the assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Loghain is a traitor who killed King Caelan Ostagar.
What? Lies and slander! King Loghain will not suffer this. I will not suffer it. I'm his messenger.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Okay.
Here's your time! Oh! Now we get our hands. It is done.
Okay, can stop with the singing now.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Is it just me, or do all these statues look alike?
We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her.
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
So, have you changed your mind, Stan? I dream about you and I, if you must know.
Don't you belong to the Grey Warden?
In fact, I belong to no one, and he would not mind. I am certain.
You would, even if I were interested in a small thing like you. The Kunari Act is unpleasant.
Unpleasant? Unpleasant how? Now I really am interested.
Deadly.
And what if I didn't mind? I enjoy a little animation.
You'd be less animated afterward.
It sounds as if I am arousing your passions already, my dear Stan.
Parshera, why do you pester me?
Because 'tis amusing, that is why.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that sodding fool, I'll have him in the Legion. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
The Blight is coming and I need Orsammar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Paragons?
Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Sounds like Balin and Harriman are the ones that should talk to.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
Proving?
Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Alright.
Yes, you should.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder?
That's a good point.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here.
You could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
Right. Of course I read that. Why do you read about axes and nail like a proper dwarf?
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
Ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I can bring the Circle your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
The thing about that is you've got to go from one place to another. You've got to go to the Circle and back to here again just to do that. I will do it, but it's just... whatever.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn.
Leave her alone for now. Don't go to Dust Town just yet.
The social strata quickly makes itself evident no matter where one goes.
News of the hour. Lord Balin. Radical changes that
that will offend the ancient paragons. Have our
So the dwarves in Dragon Age are very dwarfy.
news of the hour. 2 more clans endorse Lord Balin as the new king. Change is inevitable.
The thing with the dwarves is that I think Dragon Age handles Tolkien-like dwarves very well. If you're gonna do them, I would do them this way. You know, like there's a caste system. It's very rigid. It's very conservative. You know, your place, you know, is assigned. You know, mobility is a thing, but you know, just not that much. You know, there's not much you can actually do to get along in life. And I like the fact that Harrowmont, the claimants Harrowmont and Balin, are actually juxtaposed, in that one of them, Harrowmont, is very traditionalist, and one of them, Balin, is quite radical. Obviously, Harrowmont, the context of this is Harrowmont is actually a good person, whereas Balin is a bit of a snake. But in truth, in terms of moving Orzammar forward, the game does heavily imply, later on at least, that Balin is a better king than Harrowmont. So we will be going for Balin in this, but how we're going about it, I don't know. We'll see.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
You don't recognize a Grey Warden?
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
A blight is coming.
Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The assembly is blind to all else.
Does the city not care that the world is about to end?
This is their world, and it ended when Endron died.
So who has the authority to aid me?
Dúlan for Endron, Harrowmont's man, can be found at the Harrowmont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin's second, is often here in the assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
You know who I am.
It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and his eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzammar's finest.
This treaty obliges Orzammar to send troops to the surface.
Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Battling the Blight is more important than politics.
No one wishes this fight over more than Balin. But while it rages, Orzammar can spare no one to combat what may or may not be a new blight.
Then I'll have to seek my aid from Harrowmont instead.
Wait. We must be cautious about whom to trust. But perhaps we could find a way. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence?
Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Where did you get them?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Alright.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
So, the distasteful thing about Balin is that if you play the dwarf origin, it's kind of his fault that you get exiled and you have to become a Grey Warden. Because he frames you for your father's death. So, you know, your dad is King Endrin because you're a prince.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I'll speak with Lord Harrowmont.
In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you.
Stop playing games. This treaty compels you to help.
You're asking the King of Orzammar to send armies to the surface, but Orzammar has no king and we have no army. Right now, the men who should be fighting Darkspawn are brawling in the street. If this situation is not resolved, we face civil war. If you want Lord Harrowmont's time now, you'll have to prove you have no intention of turning against him later.
What, you want to denounce Balin publicly?
If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
So you'd like me to enter the proving in Harrowmont's name?
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
Alright, I'll enter the proving then.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Alright, I love how he just goes to a tavern and leaves you to it. Yeah, so Balin is the reason why you are kicked out of Orzammar if you are a dwarf.
Raise your voice in favor of Lord Balin. He will bring us change.
Raise your voice in support of Lord Harrowmont.
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Aquan. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman. Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled.
Who's Ogren?
Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branca. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino.
What do you mean, gelded him?
Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the Deep Roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled.
Why does he care so much about Branca? And who is Branca?
The only paragon in the last 4 generations. Quite an honor for a girl from the Smith caste.
Why did she go in the deep roads?
Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her.
How did she become a paragon?
She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branca, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name.
Branca was married to that drunk?
Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation.
Is that what you two were arguing about, Branca?
It's been 2 years since Branca left. No one has ever stayed in the deep roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Ogren wants to keep risking lives searching.
Alright, I should leave before you start complaining about me too.
If you see any guardsmen, tell them Ogren was at it again.
Head on down here.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia is not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
Get out of here. This is private business.
Looks more like extortion.
Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carter's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen.
Take a good look. Do you really want to start this?
Whoa, whoa. All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude.
You start by letting me look around your store.
I'm showing you the lowest prices I can afford, I assure you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Want all of those. All of those. And all of those. Well, you can have that, you can have that, you can have that, and that. Do you know, I'm not going to use these, so you may as well have them, because I'm not going to use them. Alright, I think that's it. Alright.
I am not fond of sharing. You should know this.
I haven't asked to borrow anything of yours.
Nor would I lend it if asked. You would be best to desist and find your own.
Find my own what?
This facade of yours is unconvincing. If 'tis a competition you wish, a competition you shall have.
You wild folk are very odd and possessive.
There's women fighting over Royce. That's something we're going to be seeing quite a lot of, unfortunately. So we can go and try and find out why the fighters have withdrawn, but that's not Royce's style. He's just going to go straight for it. Like, yeah, let's just fight.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight?
I'd like to hear more about who's fighting.
Well, with politics what they are, many combatants are dedicating their fights to either Prince Balin or Lord Harriman. Mostly Balin. It's a regular parade of past winners out there. Teoten Idukan always needs a battle unit. He's the prince's cousin. Miaja and Lukejan are twins from the warrior caste. They fight together, put on a good show. They'll all be in their chambers if you want to talk.
Okay. I'll fight as Harriman's champion.
Well, that's a surprise. Never thought the Grey Wardens would take an interest in our king. Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed?
Call me whatever you like.
We'll just call you Grey Warden, seeing as those human names are a real burr to pronounce. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start?
Who will I be fighting? Oh, what are the rules?
Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium-enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start?
Who will I be fighting?
Looks like Suwern's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start?
All right.
That's what I like to hear. I will warn you, though. This is your last chance to make preparations or meet the competition. Once the fights begin, there are no new additions to the roster. All withdrawals are treated as losses and a sign of the ancestors' disfavor.
Do you want to start, or would you like some time? The fighters' quarters are behind the ring.
Let's go for it.
Go down to the ring, then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paradons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. First up is Sewern of the warrior caste. Many of you remember when Sewern made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today, he fights as a champion for Prince Balin. Opposing him, in Lord Harrowmont's name, is a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
In the name of House Iduken and our future King Balin.
Yeah, I'm tired of talk. Let's get to the hurting.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Well, of course.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Right, all right.
Didn't actually take any
The
damage.
winner is the Grey Warden! That was an exciting start, Warden. Sewern is rarely trounced, and so thoroughly. Are you ready for your next opponent?
I'll tear out his spine.
Excellent! Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paradons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round, Harrowmont's champion takes on the notorious duo, the warrior caste twin terrors, now fighting for Prince Balin, Miaja and Lukjan.
May the stone honor you.
When you fall.
Sure, I know the dirt tastes good when I feed it to you.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Watch your back, Miaja!
All right.
Not this guy. Terrible.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Well, that was an exciting bout. 2-on-1, and you took them both easily. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who is it?
Well, this bout should be quick and dirty. You'll be fighting Hanashan, one of the legendary Silent Sisters. She's a ferocious fighter, and dedicated enough to cut out her own tongue. Are you ready to begin?
Sure.
All right, then. I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paradons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Harrowmont's champion has held the field so far, but how will he do against one of the legendary Silent Sisters? We'll find out as the Warden faces Lady Hanashan, who proved her worth to Paragon Ashtith the Grey by cutting out her own tongue. And to our Prince Balin by fighting in his name.
Is self-mutilation supposed to frighten me?
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Oh, son of a bitch. That's gonna hit me.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Harrowmont will be pleased, Warden. The Silent Sister support was a great boost for Balin. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who is it?
This should be a good match. You'll battle Wojek Ivo, master of all weapons, prisoner of none. He makes it a point never to use the same technique twice. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
All right, then. I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paradons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round is paired combat.
Just as Kiatchet fought as King Bloodlik II, defending our empire, so have dwarves always fought alongside a second. Master of all weapons, prisoner of none, Wojciech Ivo has never won the same way twice. What will he do today, lords and ladies? And will it win the day for Prince Balin? Grey Warden, choose your second, for you face Wojciech Ivo and Valans.
I have no second, I'll fight alone.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Wojciech Ivo is one of the best this arena has seen, Warden. Harriman picked wisely. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who is it?
This is the championship round. A full squad-on-squad combat. Piotr Naidukan leads the same team he's taken to victory in over a dozen Deep Roads expeditions. Are you ready to face the final test?
Sure.
May the ancestors choose wisely. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Only 2 warriors remain. Fighting for his royal cousin Balin, Piotr Naidukan has led his team to triumph over every unit so far. Challenging him on behalf of Lord Harriman, the Grey Warden has risen from nothing to stand at the competition's summit. Each will lead a full unit of 4 soldiers to see once and for all whom the ancestors favor.
You fight well, but your judgment is questionable. The throne will never leave House Naidukan.
Shut up and fight.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
I see enemy.
It's really hard.
Your time!
The winner is the Grey Warden! Congratulations! You defeated the man Prince Trian himself once called the Horns of my army. Do you deny this Grey Warden has earned the championship? Then it is my honor to declare this Grey Warden champion of the Proving, who has shown that the ancestors favor Lord Harriman.
Well done then, I could use a drink.
Spoken like a true warrior!
Don't speak to him anymore? So the proving is actually part of the normal dwarf thing as well. Yeah, you can actually fight in it. I think it's a big part of both the noble and the commoner dwarf storyline.
That was an excellent showing. We were honored by your participation, Warden.
Too right you were.
I have something for you.
That sounds a little vague.
'Tis a ring. Now before you get any foolish notions, let me explain.
Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead.
So, you would always know where I was?
It is not to track you, you understand. I believe you are too important to risk. If you were to get captured, however, it would be far easier to find you with this.
So you're giving it to me purely out of practicality?
I have no desire to see us part company so soon. Not unless we wish to, that is. Do not read more into it than is there. You have supplied me with equipment. Certainly this is not so very different, is it?
Thank you for the gift.
You are welcome. Perhaps it will be useful someday.
And just to annoy people here.
We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option.
I
It
just
is
wanna see
your
the
question,
reaction.
however. Ask what you will.
Just want to see what reaction there is.
What's this? It is a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Humor me, I guess?
Oh, it's humor you desire. I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this.
Only if we do it wrong.
How true. Let us do it right, then.
Ah, there's no reaction. I thought you'd get a reaction. Never mind. Normally you get a funny reaction to do.
I see you yet continue to be where you are not welcome.
Are you jealous? Is that what this is about? Because I don't think it's for you to decide what I should or should not do.
Oh, you may continue on as you have. I am merely informing you that you will suffer the consequences.
You forget, Morrigan. I am not without my own pointy ends as well. Do not make promises you cannot keep.
I always keep my promises.
Talk is cheap.
And this, from a bard.
Still fighting over it. That's something that really is missed in later games. I really do think so. No, yeah, the companions do talk to each other, but in later games it's more just banter. You know, they just banter with each other. Whereas in this one they actually, you know, their relationships do change as the game goes on. I think it does.
Dead sighted battling darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders while throne stands empty. Make Caroline go.
Yeah, I think that in later games, like they actually, they do change quite a bit, but in this one they actually change your relationship as well.
Legion of the Dead Warriors secretly wear Prince Balin's colors. Our prince has Orzammar's deadliest warriors behind him.
You're awfully bold, walking right up to me after coming out against Prince Balin and the Proving. You do know who I am, right? I'm Vartag Gavorn, the prince's chief advisor.
I'd like to meet Prince Balin.
Well, you have an unusual way of showing it. Why would the prince possibly meet with someone who came out publicly against him?
And now Haramalt trust me, unlike your other spies.
I see your point. Had you come to us first, Haramont would have suspected you. But now, he has no reason to think you're anything other than his champion. On the proving grounds and off.
There are not enough of you for all the alliances you make.
I think it shows cunning and circumspectness.
You will have to choose eventually.
Isn't obvious I've chosen to serve Balin?
Obvious.
So, It's agreed then? You will infiltrate Harriman's ranks for us?
I'll need Balin's support in return.
For your treaty, right? I heard about that. Sure. If Balin's king, he'll help you against the Blight. If it turns out you helped him get there. If you really want Balin's trust, you'll have to prove your loyalty to Harriman as just an act. What has he asked you to do next?
I don't know, he hasn't told me yet.
Then find out and come tell me. If you want to be of use to the prince, this is your chance to prove it. Stay away from Lord Helmi in later days. I'm sure we can find a better way to prove your worth. I look forward to seeing you again.
Right. See, I'm not actually going to come back to this guy, because I think it's kind of useless. No, I'm just going to go and... sort it out either way.
News of the hour! Lord Harriman's insinuations against Lord Balin reveal the truth.
Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders.
Oh wait, do we have to go and... Yeah, we've got to go to Tapster's Tavern, I think. Rather than here.
Just do not buy anything, or touch anything, or sit anywhere.
I trust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
I'd like a drink.
With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have?
A round of your best brew for myself and the house.
Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentus Red for everyone. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
Thank you. It just cost me 1 silver and 20.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me.
Everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends!
Is this Darkspawn corruption or just madness?
There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Deal with all that stuff as well.
Atrasvala, champion. I hear your performance in the proving was nothing short of amazing. There can no longer be any doubt where your sympathies lie. If you're ready, Lord Harriman will see you now.
Alright, lead the way.
His lordship is looking forward to meeting you.
I appreciate what you have done, Warden, and I apologize for putting one of your rank through such trials. I am Lord Pyral Harriman, and I thank you for your efforts to help me preserve King Endrin's throne.
All I want is your support against the Blight. Hang on, why would Endrin prefer you over his own son?
You may not know the story, but Balin is actually the youngest of three. Endrin's eldest, Trian, was murdered in the Deep Roads not a year ago. His middle son was found standing over the body and was exiled. But I've always found it suspicious that Balin knew just where to look. Endrin loved his sons too much to voice such suspicions. But he knew Balin's only interest in ruling was to further his own power.
All I want is your... Yeah, Balin's men say you planted those suspicions.
Balin resents me because I did not believe his setup. I wanted a full investigation, a trial, not this knee-jerk reaction. It speaks poorly of Balin that Endrin himself was the first to think that he should not be trusted.
All I want is your support against the Blight.
For us, the Darkspawn are a constant menace, so a Blight may not elicit the same urgency you are used to. Ultimately, the Assembly decides what troops to send. If they no longer fear civil war, they'll have no reason to hold back. If you want my support to count, I will have to be king. And right now, there is no sure way to get there. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the criminal carter she runs?
I take them out, you get the credit. Is that the plan?
Glad you're so eager. If you help me shut her down, we can show the Assembly I am the right king to defend Orzammar. Jarvia hides her base in Dust Town, the raw edges of the city where no one lives but castless and criminals. If you would help me in this, it would show the Assembly that I, and not Balin, have the ability to defend and rule this city.
I'll deal with Jarvia. Be ready to help against the Blight.
Do this, and I promise if I take the throne, I will not stop until the Assembly sends your troops. Look for Jarvia in Dust Town. Do whatever it takes to see that justice is served.
Alright. Seems easy, but that should be quite hard. So as I said before, Harrowmont is the traditionalist. Under him, Orzammar pretty much stagnates and remains as it is, and doesn't expand. Under Balin, however, Orzammar expands. It actually pushes the Darkspawn back in the Deep Roads. And Tight's reclaimed. It opens trade with the surface, and the caste systems get relaxed quite a lot, which is quite amazing, really. But, and there is a big but, if you don't aid Orzammar in being open to the surface a little bit more, then he will fail. He'll be a bad king because he has to come down on things. So if you have to help Dagna here get into the circle, because obviously that's a link to the surface. Then you have to help the Shaper or recognise that casteless can be cast people. And there's a quest we're about to do right now on our way to deal with Jarvia. That means that the casteless are not seen in such a bad light in the city. It's kind of weird as well that you've still got to deal with Balin fanatics, even though we're supporting Balin, but obviously they haven't been told, so whatever.
The voice Balin. You got no mercy from me.
It's your time to die!
So, you found something other than Darkspawn to occupy your time, haven't you?
You're being cryptic. Stop it.
You and Morrigan are... I saw her going into your tent last night. I didn't think she was there to tell you a bedtime story.
I don't see how this is any of your concern.
Don't evade the question. I saw her. She was... You're giving her... I mean, you're wading through her swamp.
What? You're jealous I could wade through yours if you like. Well, that's one way of putting it.
Your relationship might affect our entire group, don't you think? If suddenly she is more important to you than the rest of us, you could take unnecessary risks for her, putting us all in danger.
Please be in Europe elsewhere, Liliana. That's not going to happen, you have my word.
We'll see how much your word counts for then. Only time will tell. Do that after Jarvia. I think I just stepped in something.
I see enemies ahead. Now get better than later.
Wipe them out! Now we get our hands.
I'll get on it.
I am done with that one.
There is a way that you can be like quite sleazy and be with both Morrigan and Liliana, but to be honest with you, you can only really do that by lying, and that's not really something that Royce would do. He would just tell you exactly, you know, where you stood.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform.
I'm a Grey Warden.
Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground.
I'd have to hear what you were asking first.
No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee.
It must be dangerous if you're paying so much.
More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it.
I don't have that kind of money.
Long as you keep your eyes down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
Fair enough. Oh, we can't even talk to him again. It's a one-time only thing. It's annoying.
Spare a bit for the needy? Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
Ugh, get a job. It's 5 silvers, buy yourself a meal.
Thank you. That a stranger would care so much when my own family barred me from their halls unless I'm willing to. But no! I can't bear to even think of it!
What does your family want you to do?
My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a minor, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him.
If you're a minor, why would your son be casteless?
In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's seed.
That's kind of... Is there any other solution?
Yes. I can become casteless with him, which is what I've done. Others have raised children like this, right? Begging for change, sleeping in doorways?
Maybe I could reason with you. You can actually convince her to kill the kid. That's horrible. Maybe I could reason with your family.
You would do that? But why?
Don't look a gift warden in the mouth.
Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Didn't promise.
Hey there, stranger. 6 bits for a tumble. 2 silvers if you all want to go at once.
Can I ask some questions about the Carter?
I weren't talking to you. Hear me? We weren't talking.
Right. What's in here? Ooh, nice things.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezhda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple.
And what would give me an extra... No, I might have money if you have information.
What are you looking for?
Do you know anything about Jarvia?
Know her. I used to run with her. Jarvia took over the Carta not more than a year ago, and already she's got every duster with both legs bearing swords for her.
Can you take me to her?
I'm not in the good anymore, and Jarvia's gotten real careful lately. Real paranoid. She's got Carta members all carrying these fingerbone tokens. She scratches some mark into them so she'll know they came from her. There's doors to her base all over the city, but only one is ever open at a time. And if you show up without a token, you'd never know it was there.
Where'd I find one of these tokens?
Can't help you there, Selrocka. The Carta members keep them real tight. Now, how about that coin you promised?
I'll give you 10 silver. Take care of yourself.
I'll think of you when I go to bed with a full stomach.
Well, look what we have here.
Jarvia said you were looking for trouble. Congratulations. You found it.
I see enemies
Don't kill me! Sorry ancestors! What do they teach you on the surface? You fight like a bleeding archdemon. Sweet bloody stone, look at them all!
Tell me how to find Jarvia, or you join them.
The base is below the city. You can get to it through the wall of the third house on this row. Put this token through the slot, and it'll open. Well, will you let me go now?
Yeah, and you don't want to be at Jarvia's when I get there.
Really? Oh, thank you. You're a good person. How do they say it?
The ancestors have shown their favor.
Bless you. Don't kill me! Sorry, sweet bloody stone, look at them all!
What?
We'll...
That's a bit weird.
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
What changed your mind?
You did, of course. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
I hope I won't see you then too. See, he's saying that because Royce is getting more of an understanding for the Qunari now. So, like, in my head canon, like, you know, Royce and Sten have been talking about the Qun quite a lot, which they have done. And, you know, he's getting, like, Royce has actually been quite attracted to it. So he's like, so he knows exactly what the Qunari are going to be doing. They will come here eventually and invade.
There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
Alright, let's go.
As you wish.
I'll get on it. Got it.
Put fingerprint in the slot. Here we go. We're in.
Can I get you a ladder? I'll get on it.
What's the password?
Jarvia sucks lizard eggs.
Looks like we have a martyr, boys.
I see enemies.
Now, I think this part is actually in the game.
I'll get on it.
Because you can
Now,
be a
better than
dwarf
later.
commoner at the start, and though this would give you, you know, the chance to actually do dwarf commoner things. That part there, I think if you're a dwarf commoner, you can actually talk your way past him, and all the way to Jarvia, but I'm not sure. I've never played through it, so I'm not be sure. Ooh, pretty cool. That's good.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Sorry, not too quick for you. I love how desperate you are. You're pathetic.
Taking all of
I'll
this
get on it.
stuff.
All right, all right.
Because sometimes there's good things.
Die already!
Down here. I don't think this map's that big.
I'll get on it. This'll be fun!
All of this stuff, because not only are we going to have to sell things, but we really need health poultices later on.
Now's better than later. That's nice, nice.
It's your time to die! Let us
You a ladder so you can get off my back.
run what
More
Got
monies. Frostback.
Now's better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Oh, he's never going to stop saying that. Lost. Are we meant to go in here? No.
Stranger, let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia. Please, help me.
So this is someone who's actually in the Dwarf Commoner storyline at the start.
Please, stranger, let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia. Please, help me.
bits of health poultices. That's good. Now this, I think this unfortunately is the Grey Warden character that you didn't make. I think this is the commoner. If you make him, start the game.
Thank you. We've been down here. It's been so long. My friend didn't make it. Just stopped eating one day, and all for a stupid bet.
Yeah, so that unfortunately is. And I think it's very rare that you see one of the other Warden characters. So if I had chosen Dwarf Commoner, this guy over here would be standing here. And this guy would be dead. How the fates turn. You meant to be going this way. Yes, I think so. Son of a bitch.
Now's better than later. Something is coming.
That's right, come on!
Have a battle like
Now it's better than later.
Die already!
That's a common boxes mistake.
Now it's better than later.
Longsword.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Why do I have injuries? I really shouldn't have injuries. Unless that's what happens when you get hit by certain assassins in this game. No, I've got injuries. Oh, weird.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? I'll get on it.
We're getting quite a lot of money from down here and other things we can sell. That's good.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I think the main way up's this way. Yes, it is.
Got it.
So, Harrowmont finally realized we're taking the city, yet he still can't be bothered to send his own men.
Well, you picked the wrong side, stranger. It doesn't matter who's king, as long as there's a queen.
You're awfully cocky for someone whose entire Carter is dead.
You'll pay for their deaths 100 times over. Kill them! But leave the mouthy one alive. I have plans for him. Too easy!
Give me some more. I'm injured again.
I never liked this song. To me, I need help. It's your time to shine.
I'll get on it.
You not win.
Now you die. All right. I'll get on it.
One sec, let me just take another injury kit. I don't know why I kept getting injured.
Got it. All right, all right.
Dude. Taking all this.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Now is better than later.
I wonder if you could actually help Jarvia take over. I don't think you can. It would be nice if you could, though.
Hello.
Can you open this? You can. Good.
On my way.
All right, all right.
All right.
God! By all the beards of my ancestors! How did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall!
Yeah, you should probably get that fixed.
It's gonna cost me a fortune, isn't it? I can't believe this. There better not be more of your troublemaking kind crawling in after you. I swear, this city is going to the criminals and the nuts.
Now is better than later.
Alright. Off to see Haramont now. You can stop with the chanting. Something I didn't like is how the chanting and stuff, you know, the effects actually look on your characters. Like when I'm in conversations, I'd rather like it didn't do that. It just let me talk to people, you know.
wardens present in Orzammar. Enforcement of a blow against Lord Balin.
Go this way.
I heard the news. Jarvia and her Carter are dead. I suppose it was unrealistic to expect them to surrender.
They were vermin and clean them out. Will you speak to the assembly now?
I have no desire to go back on my word. But when Balin heard the news about Jarvia, he raised the stakes. He is forcing a vote in the next 2 days. By law, that prevents the Assembly from hearing any other pleas. To help with your troops, I will require your assistance one last time. Do you know anything of the Paragon Branca?
Always another step. Get to the point.
As a Paragon, she outranks even the Assembly. Were she to support me as king, this awful debate would be over.
Are you sure Branca's going to support you as king?
It's hard to say what she would do. She wasn't exactly known for her predictability. She never seemed to like being a Paragon. She was devoted to her craft, never cared for politics. But one of the most brilliant minds Orzammar has seen. Branca hated Darkspawn with a passion. She would certainly be a valuable voice to support your treaty.
What if she's dead?
Her entire house went with her. It would take a lot to kill so many. If not, bringing proof of her death, or a body to return to the stone, would still show that as an ancestor, it was my hand she guided to her remains.
If we'll get you to the throne, I'll find Branca.
My men traced Branca's disappearance to an ancient crossroads known as Caradin's Cross. It is many miles below where we normally venture, but I can provide a map to lead you there. Just enter the deep roads through the mines. Thank you again, and may the ancestors guide your steps.
Right, so now, after all that, we are now on the main quest of the Dwarven storyline. That's right, this was nowhere near the main quest. Now, we start a very long trek into the deep roads. But next time, we are going to resupply in Orzammar. We're going to change our part up a little bit, and we're going to start heading on down there. So I'll see you then.